All right, guys, let's take a look at the Atowak Tarantula. No, it's not invisible. I am wearing it. I am wearing it. So I've been wearing this for a couple of days. Turns out I like it more than I thought I would. It's a very well-built watch. And the biggest concern I had initially was you tell time a little differently on it. Like the way it displays the time is different than other watches, right? So I even experimented. I figured it out, obviously, because I'm super smart, but I showed it to my wife. And I'm like, I just handed it to her and I said, tell me what time it is. Took her about 20 seconds. And she goes, at the time, it was like 7:20 or something. She was like, that. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I don't want to say it's like intuitive. It's not necessarily intuitive, but if you're used to telling the time on an analog device and maybe you wear a watch on a regular basis, which is basically whoever's going to probably buy this watch is probably someone that's into watches, then you're going to be able to tell the time on it. It's not that difficult. So I think you're been watching this for like a little over a minute and you probably already could tell the time. So, I mean, it's obvious once you see it, it's obvious. It's actually pretty clean because you have your carriage in the middle that carries the rotating numbers for your hours. You have your running seconds, so they didn't leave that out. A lot of people, that's a deal breaker for it. It is there. It's a little triangle thing or throwing star thing in the middle. And then your minute pointer is literally off the hour. So whatever point that comes off from the carriage towards that bottom minute track, that points towards your minutes. So it's like 7:31, according to this, not according to that. Which, if you own more than one watch or one clock, you just basically never know what time it is. But if you only focus on the one, then you'll, just trust that device. So a couple of things that really helped with the timekeeping on this, or time telling on this rather, is that the 30 is in the center at the bottom, which is how all watches are essentially, right? So why do I not have a watch just sitting here? Give me a watch. So yeah, that's your 30-minute at the bottom. That's your 30-minute at the bottom. So yeah, we're already used to that. So that already feels natural. You don't have to overcome that. So the only thing you have to really focus on is the 7 or the 8 that's going to come around, shortly after. And then you begin here at 0 and you end here at 60. Once you're there at 60, why don't I just show you? Once you're there at 60, the 8 comes into play at 0. So now you're done with 7 o'clock hour and you're going to enter into the 8. While that's happening, the 9 is rolling into position off the top. So it's very cool to like watch this happen. And it's nice that it's a slow roll. It's all done with gears, right? The movement is actually an automatic Miyota 9039, heavily modified, of course, to carry this type of carriage system and everything like that. Now that we're almost 4 minutes in, let's talk about the size of the watch, shall we? This is a 42 millimeter wide stainless steel case. It is 49 millimeter lug to lug. Really nice finishing on this. I'm telling you, the construction on this is legit nice. And it better be, because I know the other big talking point on this is going to be the price point. We're going to get to that in a moment. The thickness, 13.5 millimeter, which is like standard dive watch type thickness. But I think it's completely acceptable that it's 13.5 millimeter thick, considering it's automatic. And I mean, this big chunky carriage thing up top here that carries those rotating hours. I mean, that takes up room. That's not a little thin, minute or hour hand that's on a traditional watch. I mean, and this is 13 or something thick. So 13 and a half, and they were able to fit all this in there. Is pretty impressive, honestly. 22 millimeter lug width. You do have quick release spring bars because this one, I think all of them come with 2 different colored straps. And so it's going to come with a colored strap that is corresponding to the colors of the dials. So this is the Twilight red. There's a blue one and a green one. So you're going to get, a blue or a green strap on those other options as well. And they do come with the hardware already on the strap. This one's already on the red, or on the black rather, so I will swap it over to the red later on to show you that as well. 8.5 millimeter crown. It is a push-pull crown. Plenty of traction on that, easy to use. And overall, like I said, legit, really good construction on this thing. So Tarantula, it's up there. Very cool, very fun. Here's a look at the display case back, showing off the custom rotor and that 9039. These are limited edition. This is number 84 of only 500. So there'll be 500 of each of them. Really cool, like a little spider thing right there. It's a 50-meter water resist. And just such a cool wild card type watch that is just really well built. I can't say that enough. Like, it's actually a really nice watch, both looking, in my opinion, I know that's going to be subjective, but in its function and its design is just really well done. If you look closely too, you can kind of see the deviation in the pattern on that carriage. The carriage, what I'm talking about, is this guy here. This thing that holds these rotating hours, and the seconds is at the center. That's actually made of carbon fiber. So that's pretty fun. Nice little touch of detail there. And then you do have a curved case back for added comfort. So let's zoom back out. Price point. It's $21.99. It's $2,200. You're going to get a discount. I'll put a link in the description down below. You'll get some sort of discount whether you go right to the website, or I'll see if I can get you guys a discount code under me, but I hadn't really talked to him about that. Comes in a nice box, nice display box and everything. And of course, like I said, the extra strap. And it is crazy comfortable on wrist. It's the perfect size for my 7.25 inch wrist. It has blue AR coating on it. And then it also has some pretty fun lume. So let's see this guy through here to whatever, like right in there somewhere, close enough, something like that. So then on red, it looks good. I could tighten it up a little bit, but there it is on red. Makes the red pop a little bit more on the watch. So now let's give it a blast with the UV light. We can zoom back in a little bit, and then we'll turn off the studio lights, because the lume is pretty fun on this too. There you go. So minute track, obviously loomed up. You can still see, because obviously the 9 is pointing toward it, so you just kind of follow that down. But then you have all those other points as well, just kind of loomed out just for your viewing pleasure. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.